Showtime.
Showtime.
Here we go. If you got your bowl packed, then you must be listening to the Pot Smoking Moms podcast. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Sunny D, along with my homegirl, Captain J.
Hello.
And we got a special guest in the house. It's one of our besties, Angie Greenbaker.
Hey. What's up, greenies?
Thanks for joining us. If you like our show, please rate, review, subscribe, share a few nice words with the people over at the Apple Podcasts. Or, just tell your friends about us. Hit us up on all the social medias. Potsmokingmoms.com is a website. Everything is there. You can we're very accessible. Too accessible.
Very
sometimes.
accessible.
What are we smoking today, Captain Drake?
I have my bong packed here with a little bowl of Ray-Bay, an indica from True Leaf.
Ooh, I got some True Leaf myself. I got a little bubble gum. Here in I have a little pipe that one of our patrons gave us. Shelby gave us a little pipe.
Aww.
I had to carry it around just in case. You never know.
Always prepared.
You never know. And Angie, you're doing it a little different today.
Hey, you know me. I like to eat my greens, unlike my pot smoking moms, the ladies here. So I had a nice little drink with my infused limoncello, made with a little Durban poison. So that was nice 50-50.
So good.
Yeah.
Cheers,
you guys. Yeah.
Cheers.
Bon appetit. Yeah.
That limoncello sounds so good. Do you prefer to drink or eat it?
Drink it, eat it. It's all the same to me.
It's the same?
Yeah.
It
It just kind of depends on what I'm trying to do. You know, like drinking it will always make things happen a little quicker, And then eating it, it's like, all right, I got a nice little 30 minutes or so until I'm really wanting to feel stuff, So it's a little flavor saver for anybody,
Do you ever, is there like a optimal situation to have edibles? Like, to me, I feel like sometimes it's a little inconsistent. Maybe it's because all the factors.
I feel you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a choose your own adventure kind of thing,
Yeah.
I like
it's
that.
like, let's see what's going to happen today.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about really getting the dosing down and stuff like that. Like that really helps to manage some of that inconsistency. So I understand what you're saying. It's like, is it the day that I really want to go overboard? Probably not. You know?
And I always feel too like nervous to go the extra mile.
What's your dosage that you like to take? Like,
I'm a fucking lightweight, joke. I'm such a lightweight, like a 5 to 10. I'm a microdoser, so I love doing like 2 to 3 milligrams throughout the day. So then by the time I kind of like get through the day, it's somewhere between like 10 to 12 milligrams is really where I feel
that's
really
not
good.
Very much.
Yeah, no, it's not. And I love keeping my tolerance low because then when I want to go overboard, then I'm like, I'm getting fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm really going to go all out. But
So what's the most you've ever eaten in one sitting?
holy fuck. I would say probably the most that I've eaten is probably around 100. And that was kind of by accident.
By accident?
Sort of by
We did that on the
accident.
beach.
Yeah.
We each ate 100 milligrms. She was
I think that
baked.
was, listen, but
I was smoking a bowl.
You were like, I'm good. What's the next one?
So all
Yeah,
this
but
edible talk makes me so jealous.
dude,
I know.
but no. First of all, I think
It's like, no.
First of all, I think there was more in that. I don't think that was 100. I think there was more in that.
No. You have to remember.
100's a lot, girl.
100
But
is
I
a
take
lot.
that now. I guess maybe I've built my tolerance to where I take that now, and that's like not a big
But
deal.
in an edible or in a smoke?
No, in an edible.
So
I eat
yeah, you
that now, and
definitely
it's-
built your tolerance.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think so because. But I don't eat I don't eat it.
But then again, remember, it
But that
metabolizes
was also
different too.
made by a legit like grower. You're not. It was.
Yeah,
It wasn't like from
straight.
Paco down the street that was like, hey, yo, I
And
think
it wasn't
this has...
just like the corporate dispensaries. They're kind of they're They're not going to give you 100 million.
That's another one.
Yeah. The dispensary, I mean, I have to eat a whole package of gummies.
She's like, give me all you got.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to eat 80 of these to get somewhere. Fucking then like, 2 milligram lozenge. And I'm like,
it's like edging. It's like, just gonna get you right there,
Yeah.
but not really. Yeah, I know. I understand that, but it is a choose your own adventure kind of thing. It really is.
There's been moments too where it's like I have an edible and I'll be really good for like I won't feel anything for a few hours and I'll be like, fuck man, this was a dud. Then I'll have like dinner, a fatty dinner.
Hell yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh,
you're on a roller coaster ride.
There it goes. There we go.
4 hours later.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm okay with that adventure, you know.
I mean,
like,
I never say no to an adventure.
You're also not taking that much, so you're good.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm not like, I'm taking all of this, like, no, I'm not taking that much either. So I'm okay. Like, I feel like everybody should be able to just decide what makes the most sense. You know what I'm saying? Personally, if I'm really wanting to get fucked up, I'll smoke, because I feel like that's always where I overdo it. With edibles, I don't. But with smoking, I will always overdo it. And so, like, if I'm really wanting to, like, get there, I'll smoke. Because that high is so quick and it's so fast for me that I'm like, woo! I'm tripping balls and this is amazing, but with my edibles, it's like a gradual thing. It's like, hey babe, how you doing? I'm coming in here for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a gradual kind of thing.
Usually with edibles, it's like,
yeah,
okay,
right? It's like, I'm
okay.
knocking at the door. Can I come in? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you want to call it Uber. Like,
I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, babe. I still believe that one day Jay is going to find the holy
I think
grail.
we may have, but I'm not
edibles.
100% sure. The day of the 420 Fest that we went. TK Sweets?
Yeah.
She brought me some cookies.
Nice.
Right? And
Shout out to TK Sweets. We love you, babe.
Yeah.
And she used some recipe that Livy Smalls had given her that's supposedly supposed to help with people that don't normally feel the effects of edibles. And I don't know if it was just because I was exhausted from being at the event all day long.
Yeah, that could have been
on my feet. And then we were smoking a lot, but I ate that cookie, but I was like laid out.
Okay, so TK Sweets send us a couple more cookies so that way we can. For science.
It was 60
science.
milligrams. It was 60 milligrams.
For science.
We'll make a graph.
But speaking of
Exactly.
events,
We'll have
do a
theories,
PowerPoint.
hypothesis, before and after.
I feel like with you, for real, we do have to have some sort of...
I think that should be a whole episode. Like which edible
table.
is Jay going to get high off of?
Yeah, that would be right.
we should do different,
We should do like a series.
table.
We should do like a series.
This episode, she tries this one.
That's right. And which one gets her really like fucked up? I swear we'll find it. And have like fans send in stuff. Like, hey, if you think this is the thing that's
sure.
gonna get Jay like ripped.
Lit.
Well, I definitely
Send
want
it.
TK Sweets to try it again and me to properly eat it
Properly.
without being like exhausted. Because that
It's
second
for
cookie she gave me,
science.
I was an idiot and also ate it after being at Disney World all day.
Okay, come on, girl. This is not helping out our scientific pursuits of understanding what is going on in
But
Jay's
sometimes
body.
it's hard to like be like, even if you eat, you're gonna smoke. Like,
I know,
sometimes
I'm still
it's
gonna
just,
smoke.
like
See, and then that's gonna totally dilute and like this is why I'm saying we
But
have to
how
do it
long
in a
do I
controlled.
wait?
I don't think you have to wait
Patience
that long.
is a virtue.
I don't think you. Have
I
to
don't
wait
know
that
if you know this. It is
I don't
a
think you have to
virtue.
wait that
Cannabis
long.
is what gives me my patience.
This is a thing, actually. Yeah,
Without it, I could be very impatient.
Are we okay with Jay being unmedicated for 2 or 3 days? I don't know
I
if
don't
that.
know.
Oh, the last tolerance break we tried didn't last
I remember that tolerance break episode. You guys should really go back and listen to that. It's hilarious.
long. We should, huh? I haven't gone back to listen to anything.
Yeah. Mhm.
But speaking of events, are you going to Dab Day next week? Or this weekend, actually, when
Nah,
this airs?
I'm not going.
Is this weekend? No, it's not.
7:10.
When this airs,
Oh yeah.
it'll be this weekend.
Yeah, 7:10. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna be doing some other stuff. I don't know. Like I just feel like there's so many different events happening, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, where do you go?
Always
to?
a holiday.
You go to a lot of events. You're always at events.
Holy fuck. Yeah, I am.
She's a hustler, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Boss bitch moves. Like, I mean, it's the part of building a brand and building an empire. I always told people from the beginning, even when I was like making shit out of my house, I'm going to be the Oprah of cannabis, so if I want to be the Oprah of cannabis, I got to make fucking Oprah moves. You know what I'm saying?
The steward of cannabis.
I don't know about
Who's
Martha,
a good chef?
though. I don't know.
Who's a good chef?
I feel like Oprah would bring the extra oomph that Martha wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like Oprah was a fat girl. We know how to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like she's on that Weight Watcher shit now. I feel like she does because she was a big girl. You know what I'm saying?
But she was also rich and people could cook for her.
I know.
This is true. But when she was poor is when she was fat.
Okay.
So technically, I feel like she knows how to cook. Like, bitch, you wasn't nobody feeding you. You was feeding yourself, So I feel like Oprah will pull that little extra oomph in it that like Martha won't. I mean, Martha will make it look all pretty and shit, and it'll taste good. It'll taste all right. But, Oprah got that extra magic. She got that fat girl magic.
She got that extra
butter.
seasoning.
She uses that butter.
She got
Canna butter. Oh.
But not now. She's on Weight Watchers. So I'm talking about like Oprah back when she had like her show. Like not Oprah now, not current Oprah.
Right.
I want her current
Not
bank
watered
account.
down Oprah.
Yeah.
We want
Not Weight Watchers Oprah. I want the OG Oprah,
Yeah.
One where she rolled out that card of fat and was like, this is how much weight I've lost. You know what I'm saying? I want that Oprah. Yeah. So yeah, if that's my aspiration and my dream, then, I gotta do these things,
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of work, but
710 is not one of them. We'll be there.
Nah.
We'll be there.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you guys
But
will
we're
be
just
there.
going as like guests.
yeah, we're not
gonna
gonna
be a vendor or anything.
We're not gonna be waving on the float at everybody.
Doing
We're
the
just
princess, that weird
God,
wave.
that'll be the day when we're on a float smoking a fat blunt at some sort of fucking
Cannabis
Cannabis parade.
Cannabis parade.
Yeah, like a Mardi Gras of cannabis.
Damn, bro, I want a cannabis
And
parade.
instead
so
of throwing
bad now.
beads, you're throwing joints.
Oh
my!
snap.
Or like,
or little concentrates and shit.
Or like little baggies of nugs,
Little bags of nugs. I feel like they would go to waste though. People would stomp on them and stuff.
I
That'd
think
be
people.
sad.
What? No,
I think people would pick that shit up.
No, I'm not saying people wouldn't pick them up, but I'm just saying like they're going to be
joints
trying
would
to go
definitely-
for more stuff, and they're going to be like crunching our nugs.
But that's why it's good they're in little baggies.
We're gonna have to reel this
The
conversation. This is gonna be a 2-hour fucking episode of
great.
us.
By the time
going
we're
off on
done,
tangents.
though, we'll have a whole plan for this cannabis carnival. Carnival. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Canna Carnival.
Hey, bro,
Yeah.
it sounds good to me.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we'll be at 710 Dad Day.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come out
Come
there.
We
see
got a
us.
couple people already saying, "Hey, I got my ticket."
Nice.
So that'll
That's
be
awesome.
fun.
How exciting. That's really
Let's
cool.
dab together.
Let's dab.
And then we're doing
Lately.
Instagram lives on Wednesday nights after our episode airs. So maybe if you're around when this airs,
When this episode airs.
when this episode airs,
July 7th.
I can totally go on live with you.
Yeah, we go at 9
Although
p.m. Eastern.
I just figured out today that because my posts are being reported, that I cannot go live with my IG account.
No.
What?
Yeah, dude.
You
it
can't
sucks.
even join a live?
I don't know if I can.
We can test it.
Join. Yeah, we'll test it beforehand. I don't want to like fuck you guys up and then be like, oh, she can't come on. But today I went to go do my live because I made a beautiful recipe with my infused limoncello. And I went to like hit the live button and it was like, checking your connection. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it was like, boop, nope, you can't. Denied.
What the?
Wow.
So I'm in IG jail right now.
Damn.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
That
I
is
know.
some bullshit.
So I just don't want to mess you guys up. So like, but definitely if I can be on, I would be happy
For
to be
sure.
on and follow up with you guys on your IG live.
Come join us. Have a chat with us.
Of course.
And our friends.
Fireside chat.
I don't know. Yeah, fire, like the lighter fire.
Exactly. And that fire, because it's going to set your throat on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of fire. Yeah.
We talking about Britney? Are we gonna do this? We're gonna jump right into this Britney debacle.
Like, apparently today the news came out that the judge denied her request to remove her father as the lead of the conservatorship.
Yeah.
What's the bullshit, though? Yeah, they
Which-
say it's not the end because she still has to petition and all that. But if they're saying no to this,
Yeah.
But wait, they're saying no to what? To having
taking
him out?
Yeah, to taking him out of the conservatorship.
Well, because I think it's like a short-term fix.
it's just
And
like, why
ultimately
bother
it
with
has
all
to
that
be
if you're going to file a
long-term.
petition and we're going to say
he's out of it.
Right, like, don't they want her to just do it, like, in a formal way?
Hasn't she been doing it?
That's what this is a formal way. What she's saying is that she just discovered at this last hearing, which she did not know. The judge, when she was testifying all this stuff about why she doesn't want her father on the conservatorship, the judge is like, why don't you just petition for the conservatorship to end? And she's like, well, ma'am, I didn't know I can do that because her lawyers aren't advising her of her rights, obviously.
Yeah, that's jacked up.
Yeah, so... hopefully that's why they denied it. They're just like, what's the point of taking him off and going all through this
petition,
if she's about to petition and we're gonna, go with the petition, hopefully.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
No, we don't.
I figured that the judge was gonna tell her no. I had heard that this judge has had history of
being a douchebag,
being a biatch.
Yeah,
I had read somewhere she has a history of being a biatch. So I wasn't surprised.
I saw a TikTok of this guy that was there in the courtroom when Britney's testimony was being made. Britney wasn't there, but the judge was there. And he said that while Britney was talking, it seemed like the judge was nodding a lot, like
in affirmative, like an agreement.
Yeah. And it seems, but I don't know.
Like you said, Sonny, like, there's a lot of shit happening behind the scenes, probably.
Exactly.
We don't know
Who
either.
knows? She's probably been paid by.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so. But then again, we also know, even when it's not Britney Spears, guardianships, conservatorships are hellaciously difficult.
Yeah.
Like law, like, and then to think the navigating of that whole situation, it's just difficult. So. I think even without all the like extra publicity and the fact that it is Britney and all of this, like regular Joe Schmoes have a fucking difficult time ending conservatorships. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think it's to me at the end of the day, it's about a woman is asking to have autonomy and control over her own body and her own life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think at the time, sure, okay, like, you needed that break. You needed that, like, I can't think about all of this stuff. I need someone to take care of this for me. Got it. Cool. You know what I'm saying?
A few months, a year, maybe 2 years.
You know what
I'm
saying?
Not 13 years.
Not a fucking decade.
Not after going on tour and being a judge.
And you're maintaining, working on yourself. You obviously are taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your children. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're basically acting as a full adult. So you are able to make your own decisions. So to me, I think that's the most egregious thing, is that something that should have been really helpful has turned into... Because
it was put in her family has no interest.
Like, it should have been helpful. It should have been like, okay, Britt, no problem. Go take care of yourself. We'll take care of this. You go handle you, take care of you, heal, do whatever you need to do, which is absolutely necessary and important. But then it just turned into like this whole like fucking debacle because now she's trying to come out of it. Yeah. And that doesn't bode well for other people that are maybe thinking they might want to do that.
Who even knows? And when I say there's a lot more to it, because there's a lot more to all the signs, but there's also so much that she hasn't said yet. And it's like, who knows what kind of control they were using against her? Because it took her 13 years, but... I feel like that documentary that came out.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Was something that was really like a pushing factor.
Yeah.
For it to happen because she
sees the support.
She might have but
legitimate support from a legitimate news channel doing that documentary.
Right, and she, I mean, who knows how controlled she was, because she didn't want to say anything, because who knows. Like, even her just doing this testimony, I feel like could have hurt her with whatever's happening behind the scenes that we're now seeing.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I mean, it's just so many layers to it, and it's just like,
yeah.
And I don't want the same shit to happen where this whole thing is made out to be some sort of fucking circus either, because that's not fair.
Yeah,
for her.
It's not. And I mean, this is honestly what got her where she was. You know what I'm saying? Like, the scrutiny, the people, like all of this kind of like stuff. Yeah. And I think she's at the point where she understands and knows what she wants to be a part of and what she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it has to do with that. That is a huge part of your mental health, is understanding, like, what do you want to be involved in and what you don't,
Poor woman wants to get married and have kids, and they're not letting her.
No, absolutely. I mean, that to me is just basic. Like, fucking anybody should have the ability to do that.
I agree, but I also her boyfriend's a little suspicious to me too.
Is she still with that dude? What's his name? Sam?
Yeah. Is he a handler? Was he placed there? That's like suspicious.
Yeah, it's like what's real, what's not real. Like we don't even really know. It's so I don't know. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But even though she should, if it's not Sam, she still has the right to be able to find somebody. She's not going to find somebody and be able to get married and have kids if she's being
locked
controlled.
away.
Yeah, locked away like that. Like, and she's only around whoever they allow to be around her. She says she can't see her friends. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so many layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have any updates or anything going on?
Me? No. I think it's like, I don't even know what day of the week it is.
It's that RSO still kicking your ass, dude.
I just wrote a couple notes of some posts that I saw that I found that was interesting. Today we're recording this on July 1st. So today is actually Connecticut's first day of having legal adult use cannabis.
Whoop,
Yay!
whoop.
See? We're working on my skills, Angie.
She's a little slow. She's reliable, but she's slow.
It even says it there. I feel like such a dipshit. There's a couple. I'll be ready for the next one.
And now she's going to like prematurely hit it. Watch.
On June 29th, adult use became legal in New Mexico, apparently. So now you can drive from New Mexico to Alaska without leaving a place where cannabis is legal.
Oh, wow. Who knew that?
I saw Cannabis voters share that, and I was like, that's interesting. Now you could just drive the whole way up.
Wait, but can you drive to Alaska?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you have to take like a boat or something, right? Wait, no. Alaska's
you would have
connected,
to go through Canada.
But you'd have to go through Canada, which is legal. Okay, got you. Sorry, I'm bad at geography.
I'm here.
I had a Sarah Palin moment. I was like, is that Russia? Like, no. Like, oh, shit.
Do we have to canoe to Alaska? Or can we fly there? Do we need? Do we need? What are the Eskimo shoes?
I just for some reason I thought Alaska was not connected. I thought it was an island. Okay,
it is separate. It's not. It's not
weird.
Island.
It's not an island.
It's
like a peninsula,
like Florida.
Yeah. So I was just like, wait, do you take like a car boat over? I blame the limoncello.
Yeah, I was about to say my RSO, your limoncello.
So they also said in 1 year we've seen 8 states legalize adult use and 2 states legalize medical, which means more than 70% of Americans live in a jurisdiction that now has legalized medical or adult use.
Which makes sense, dude. So many people, like, what is it? Like 70% of people think it should be legalized federally.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's like 44% live in places where it's legal adult use.
I feel like every week we have a show somebody new is like, hey, you can smoke here now. Like,
we're cool. We're part of the cool kids.
I know.
Or the ones that are like, we want to be cool, but we're not 100% sure. Those are the medical states.
Yeah. That's us.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say, but some of these people, okay, but so if it does go adult use here, right? Mm-hmm. We already have a built-in infrastructure, which is like the shittiest infrastructure of all time, but it wouldn't be so hard transitioning into adult use. Some of these places where they're going straight into adult use, you can't even buy cannabis till years, right?
Yeah,
because ultimately they don't really
in the
have
sense,
anything.
like if you get caught with it or whatever, it's not going to be an issue. But they're still trying to build out
the infrastructure.
Yeah, their whole regulation system. Yeah, how they're going to do everything.
And I mean, shit, here, we've had medical here for how long? And we're still building out our fucking infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's always going to be a transition. And it's always going to be really difficult because it's on a state by state and every state is different. And you know what I'm saying?
Which
and that's
is
why
so silly. Which is why
we need federal. That's why we need federal. Because then once we have federal, then everybody falls under the same fucking umbrella.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
All day.
I love how we did that. Awesome.
And more awesome is this. If you're looking for news, only stoned news.
Yeah.
Apple now allows marijuana businesses on its app store, while Google, maintains ban.
Shame.
Apple will no longer prohibit marijuana delivery services from being hosted on its app store. One of the latest pro-cannabis developments comes from out of tech industry. What? I fucked that whole sentence.
That's good.
Yeah.
The policy is also yellow, but it's okay. Keep going.
Oh, okay. See, we always do this. I never know. I just jump right in or don't jump right in.
Whatever. We just.
Oh, yeah, there's the.
See, you're yellow.
Can you imagine if we didn't have notes?
Wait, no, you're green. And it's great to be behind the scenes here in studio to see how this fucking craziness comes together.
Yeah. It looks organized. But
it's awesome. It's organized chaos, though.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It
It's all right. It's cool.
The policy was updated last month to remove the ban with some restrictions. A marijuana app must be geo-restricted to jurisdictions where cannabis is legal, and the program must be submitted by a legal entity that provides the services and not by an individual developer. Mm-hmm. Here's what the previous policy said. Apps that encourage consumption of tobacco and vape products, illegal drugs, or excessive amounts of alcohol are not permitted on the App Store. Apps that encourage minors to consume any of these substances will be rejected. Facilitating the sale of controlled substances except for licensed pharmacies, marijuana, or tobacco is not allowed.
Wait a minute. Are there apps that promote you to drink a lot? Because I've never.
There's apps where you can order beer and wine and stuff like that.
Well, fuck. That's like, whatever. Total Wine. I go on there and I order my liquor and then I go pick it up.
No, but you could get it delivered and everything.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's like invasion of like, personal kind of like, fuck, maybe I do want like 17 bottles of mango Ciroc delivered to my house. Anyway, I was just like, what apps of these do you speak? Because I need to look them up.
I know. Well, but we wouldn't be the main demographic that they would target. Like, we wouldn't be using those apps anyways.
Yeah.
Because we're like normal people. We get in our car and go drive to our liquor.
I don't drink, so.
Yeah, I know. I don't even really drink that much.
My husband does order beer, though.
Look,
he orders beer delivered, but like craft beer.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what apps are promoting excessive? Because
there is
technically, if you order a case or if you order a single, it's still your decision about how much you're going to consume, right?
Yeah.
So is there like an app that's like drink?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
You get badges.
Like, what is that?
The faster you can.
Who are these apps that are promoting this? I'm just.
Oh my god, that's terrible! It's like it's like a role playing game, and your whole thing is for the little dude to get wasted.
Oh my goodness!
It's not a real app, you guys. We just talking shit.
So the new policy, which was updated on June 7th, reads: apps that encourage consumption of tobacco and vape products, illegal drugs, or excessive amounts of alcohol are not permitted in the App Store. Apps that encourage minors to consume any of these substances will be rejected. Facilitating the sale of controlled substances, except for licensed pharmacies and licensed or otherwise legal cannabis dispensaries or tobacco, is not allowed. Apps that provide services in highly regulated fields, such as banking and financial services, healthcare, gambling, legal cannabis use, and air travel, or that require sensitive user information, should be submitted by a legal entity that provides the services and not by an individual developer. Apps that facilitate the legal sale of cannabis must be geo-restricted to the corresponding legal
like we need to be
jurisdiction.
lawyers to be reading this.
Sometimes it does.
I feel like we should have a degree in...
So basically, they just added in here that legal cannabis use is allowed if you're like an entity that has like the licensing to sell it.
Look at that. Lawyer J.
Yeah, but this is kind of... Okay, so it says, it goes on to say, in contrast, Google's Android app hub updated its policy in 2019 to explicitly prohibit programs that connect users with cannabis, no matter whether it's legal in the jurisdiction where the user lives. We don't allow apps that facilitate the sale of marijuana or marijuana products regardless of legality, it says. Adding that some examples of violations would be allowing users to order marijuana through an in-app shopping cart feature or assisting users in a range. That's like the fucking dream. That's what we're trying to do. That's where we want to go.
I want all
that's what
that.
we want.
Step one, Apple's allowing them into their store.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything with THC or CBD... No, including products such as CBD oils. Yeah, well, containing THC against its policies.
She did say she was blind before we started recording.
She usually has the screen a lot closer to her.
Sorry, am I taking...
Wow, you guys are blowing me up here.
Did I take the place of your computer? I'm sorry, Sonny. She's got beautiful red glasses on, though. They're really awesome. I love her. She's like
they
channeling her like, you know, Sally Jesse Raphael action.
So Google's like, fuck no.
yeah. Google's like, we're gonna do whatever we want.
We're still saying
they're
no.
still calling it the devil's lettuce. Actually,
Weed Maps before what you couldn't get that in the App Store. You would have to go to their website and like download it, right?
Oh, really?
I don't know. I've never had
really had to use
I
any
have
apps.
Weed Maps, but I don't remember how I got it.
I think you can download it
because
Was
you
it
have
in the
things
App
like
Store?
WeTube. You have
That
things like
is like
or
a
even
cannabis related app.
I feel like then maybe I've never actually gotten an app for something. Maybe that's the thing. I always go directly to websites. I think that's it.
Everybody uses apps now, Angie. Get with
know.
it. There's an app for that.
Yeah, young whippersnappers.
So the tech industry has had a strained relationship with the marijuana industry, even as a growing number of states have decided to legalize and regulate the sale of cannabis. Facebook, which in 2019 showed off its artificial intelligence technology that's capable of identifying images of marijuana, continues to prohibit the commercial advertising of cannabis products, regardless of the legality of the business under state law. Non-commercial cannabis news sites such as Marijuana Moment and state regulatory bodies like the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission have all been caught up in the anti-marijuana policy, despite the fact that they do not promote or sell cannabis products. In some cases, it appears these organizations have been hidden from appearing in search results, a practice known as shadow banning.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which is what you're being done to right now.
Heck yeah.
And
I've
ID.
experienced it firsthand.
So they're saying Marijuana Moment experiences it, and the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission, their websites
level. and they're like legit sites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like education, like, and it's like they don't give a fuck. They're like, whether
like,
you're
no,
legit, instead of going after like shit that's not legit, you know, because those are the ones that you really want to be managing, right? Nah, they're gonna go after people that are legit. They're like, we don't care. So that's why I'm not on IG Live, because
wah, wah. Well, hopefully you are with us on Wednesday.
I hope so
Tonight.
Sorry, that was for the shadow banning.
Yeah,
I'm
a little
late
late
again.
No, you were right on time. You were right on time. It's okay. It's okay. We'll say it was right on time.
Yeah.
All right. So next story. House approves bill to let researchers access marijuana from state legal dispensaries.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man.
All
Nice.
right. There you go. This has been in the works for a while. So we've talked about it before. It's been like in committees and passing committees and all this shit. So the U.S. House of Representatives on Thursday approved a large-scale transportation bill that includes a provision that would allow researchers to access marijuana from state legal dispensaries in order to effectively study impaired driving.
So are the truck drivers going to be smoking it, and then that's how they're going to get the research?
I don't know.
Wait,
we'll see.
what does impaired driving have to do with state research?
What do I do? Just smoke and drive?
I just want to know. Like, I just think it's really funny that those two comments are in this same. It's like large scale transportation bill, impaired driving. Like,
Oh,
that's how they're getting it through in a transportation bill because it's
interstate. They have to take it from one state that it's legal and drive it through a state that it's not legal to get it to the labs.
Which is why they should just have it federally legal.
And that's why all the truck drivers should be high. I think they would be the best guinea pigs to figure out whether marijuana impairs your driving.
So much clown shit. It's like insane to me.
Are you talking about us? Or are you talking about the bill?
No, I'm talking about like the way we're doing things.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Fucking dumb.
So after clearing committee last month, the chamber passed the legislation in a 221 to 201 vote. A Senate committee also recently advanced its version of the transportation proposal that contains substantially identical language around cannabis. Under the House passed measure, a federal report would need to be issued with recommendations on establishing a national clearinghouse with samples of different types of marijuana that scientists from non-legal states could obtain for studies.
Wow. I feel like that's a whole new, like, Ronald and Kumar go to White Castle. Like, I feel like that's the beginning premise of a whole new series of, like, two stoners break into the federal clearinghouse of marijuana samples.
The National Clearinghouse of Samples.
I feel like this is it. This is the beginning. Captain J, Sunny D. I think you guys.
Let's do it.
I think you guys should totally do this.
Hey man, we got Proud Puppy Productions. We can do it.
Like
Totally.
How did two stoners break
premise.
into the National Clearinghouse of marijuana samples?
The transportation secretary.
So specifically, it mandates that transportation secretary would need to work with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Justice Department to develop the public report within 2 years of the bill's enactment. That includes recommendations on allowing scientists to access retail level marijuana to study impaired driving.
Finally, the measure states that the report, which would be due in 2 years after the bill's enactment, should analyze statutory and regulatory barriers to the conduct of scientific research and the establishment of a national clearinghouse for purposes of facilitating. Oh my God, I need to take a breath.
Take a breath.
An earlier version of the measure cleared the House last Congress with identical marijuana provisions, but did not advance in the GOP-controlled Senate.
Gee, duh.
The transportation legislation also contains a separate section that would require legal marijuana states and only those states to consider methods of educating people about and discouraging impaired driving from cannabis.
I just want to say I'm a way better driver when I'm high.
Me too.
Yeah. I
am so...
Dude, okay, you guys want to hear my theory? I swear, when I was younger and I first started smoking, and the first time I smoke and drive, a few times, I was like always going exactly the speed limit. I was like driving really well. And I was like, I swear they determine the speed limit by getting people high and have them drive down the road. I used to think
that's a pretty good theory.
That's a pretty good theory.
That's a pretty good theory.
Yeah, it's like, okay, smoke this joint and then just drive. We're not going to tell you how fast to go, how slow to go, just drive. And that's how they determine
this is definitely a 40 mile per hour area.
That's how they determine.
Per hour.
Here, you heard it first, people. This is how they determine speed limits in areas. They get people high and then take their...
But I agree with that statement.
Speed gun police officer.
Even though, of course, we never condone people smoking.
Yes, please be responsible.
Driving,
don't smoke and drive. But we know you're a better driver when you smoke, so...
Under the legislation, a section of current law requiring that states establish highway safety programs would be amended to add
Nobody listens to highway safety programs. I'm just
I know,
that.
seriously.
It's like a bunch of fucking waste of time.
But that's why I think it's so silly that they have to use this in order to just... First of all, I think it's insane that this plan has been around for ages and nobody's ever said, hey, let's research. Let's see why this is so great. Let's
let's figure this out.
No, plenty of people are saying, yeah, let's research, except the federal government saying, no, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then you can't, which, like so many cannabis businesses and so many cannabis organizations, that cuts off your funding. Where are you going to get all this fucking lab equipment from? That shit's expensive. Where are you going to hire scientists and lab techs? And so if you don't have it federally legal, it immediately cuts you off from any banking, financing, grants, money, anything that you would use to be able to run the research. So it's almost like a compounded, you know what I'm saying? Like they could say, oh yeah, you can absolutely research it. But then you'd have to be a freaking billionaire or be in with someone who has the money to front you and say, hey, buy all that expensive ass equipment, hire people, get, computers and programs to get, like, it's expensive. So it's just like with anything that's cannabis related, because it's not federally legal, it cuts you off. As a small business, I don't have access to funds like a regular small business does. I can't go to my bank and go, hey, I have a small business and I'm growing. Can I have a loan, please? No. So it's like, it's this like tug of war that's constantly happening. Yeah. And the federal side of it is tying up all the money. Like, unless a state decides like,
it's almost like the government has a conservatorship over this plan.
Free Britney.
Free
cannabis.
And free the plan.
Free the plan and Britney.
Dude, let's get a deal going. Let's throw those two together and wrap it up,
That's right. I agree with that 100%. Yeah. The United States government, you're being the Jamie Spears
right now
of this cannabis plant. And we want a petition to remove you.
Exactly. Fucking let's figure it out, guys. This next segment we like to call Which we love
This
you,
is not a
but
woo story,
sometimes a lot of times
It's a
we
love
don't
hate.
love you.
It's a love hate. It's a
Dude,
love hate relationship.
I was trying to find some good stories, and everything is about Surfside.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, today's been rough. I heard the story in the morning, and I don't
want details, please.
Yeah, I know.
I've only
I'll
seen
spare
numbers.
you.
I don't want details because it breaks my
Yeah,
heart.
absolutely.
This is a story about somebody that was there, but it's not a story about somebody that died. It's somebody that actually got out.
Oh,
so
wow.
I thought this was an interesting story when I saw it. So a Florida woman saw a crack forming in her condo and told herself, "You have to run to save your life."
Holy fuck,
That's
dude.
the name of this article.
Wow.
If one of many small moments of Ileana
Monteagudo.
So let's just say
I'm sorry.
Ileana.
Ileana.
Moments of one of Ileana's last night in her Surfside, Florida condo had gone differently. She believes that she would not be alive today. She said her credit cards were already in her purse. She checked her balcony door. She couldn't find the staircase at first. All little details that she and her son credit with saving her life. Ileana is one of the survivors of a partial building collapse of last week. Rescue teams are still searching through the debris, recovering 18 people who were killed, and in hopes of finding answers for the family of 145 people still unaccounted for. Investigators are on the scene and trying to discover what initiated this catastrophe.
Monteagudo told CNN's Chris Cuomo that the evening before the collapse, she put her pills and her credit card in her purse and lit the candle for the Lady Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Considered a national symbol and matriarch for Mexicans and Mexican Americans, as well as important Catholic figure. Rescue crews pull in more resources as children are identified among the 18 killed in a Florida condo collapse. Rescue crews pull in more resources.
I'm sorry. I meant to delete that. My bad.
Groundhog Day.
There we go.
She went to bed around 1 a.m., but she was woken by what she called a rare force.
Believing the feeling came from an open balcony door, she went to her living room to try to close it when she woke up at 1 a.m. in the morning. But then behind her, she saw a crack coming from the ceiling and quickly snaking down the wall and opening fast. Something inside of me said, "Run," she said. "You have to run to save your life." In moments, she put on the first clothes that she could find, grabbed her phone and her purse, blew out the candle, and ran out of her apartment. Once in the hallway, she found quiet, no panic, no alarms, no one else running. She knew not to take the elevator, but didn't know the emergency stairs were just beside her unit. So she went to the furthest set of stairs instead. If I knew that, maybe I would have taken the other ones.
But as she was flying down the 6 floors of
Like,
stairs,
I can't even joke about this shit. Like, I don't even have anything to
pleading
contribute.
with God to let her see her son and grandsons again. She heard the sound of the tower she lived in collapsing. So she ran to the other side, and the part where she was at
collapsed.
So had she went down that emergency,
Yes.
The one by her apartment.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. That's... I don't...
Yeah. That's crazy. But you know what? She says, what does she say here? Now she's safe. She says she cries for her neighbor. She lost in the building. That sucks. Yeah, that's terrible. She was living there for 40 years?
No.
She lived in Miami
She
for
just
40
moved there
years.
6 months ago after living in Miami for 40 years,
Wow.
telling her friends that one day she will be living in the Champlain Tower South.
Oh,
Because that was
wow.
like a nice place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I just
Wow.
like, but how long
What are the
does that building
chances
have to get
she
neglected
woke
like
up
that? You know, like
And saw that
yeah,
and just ran.
yeah.
When I was reading this story, I read it to my husband. He's like, "Why didn't she pull a fire alarm or something?"
But she
And I
didn't
was like,
really
who?
know.
She didn't know.
She
Yeah.
knew
really-
enough to run.
Yeah, but she knew enough to run and say, like, look, at least if nothing happens, I won't look like a crazy person
I
because
would
I'm
have
not
never
letting
even,
everybody
honestly,
know.
I don't think I would have thought of a fire
Yeah, I
alarm.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have either.
neither would
I
I.
would have just ran because I honestly, I didn't even think of that. I don't live in a building normally though, so I don't think about those
Does
things.
she
I
know
would've-
how? Does she know how long after that happened?
Well, if it was at 1 a.m. that she woke up.
Yeah, like it happened
The story
basically
didn't
when she
tell.
woke up.
Yeah, the story didn't tell like how when she got out, how long after it actually fell.
But it said that she could hear it collapsing
Yeah.
as she's running down the stairs.
down the other stairs. Yeah, so it came
So
down.
mind you, there's all these people sleeping in that building.
Yeah,
like
man.
who the fuck?
Right.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. It's really insane.
Wow.
She was very lucky.
It's really insane. I feel like in other countries this happens because of how old buildings are and how
They're not
shoddy
taken
infrastructure
care
are.
of.
But I feel like here it happens because of greedy fuckers who should have done something about something earlier and didn't.
Yeah.
Because it was going to cost money and nobody wants to
So
hear
they didn't
that.
wanna do it,
So they didn't want to do it and they kept whatever. I mean, we're still finding out details.
Yeah, because
But-
first of all, like, how does half of a building collapse and not the other half? Like, what the fuck?
Something must have initiated it.
Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think they said it's something with under the parking lot and the pool. By there, it had like already, and that's what held all the rest of the building. And there was already cracks. Like I just saw when I found this article, there were some pictures that they said was taken 2 days before the building collapsed, and there was huge cracks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then there was the person across the street filming the rain. It was just like water coming in through, and it looked like you could tell that it was kind of warping, like it was.
Oh, on all the rain and stuff. And then they had the extra materials on their roof because they just started. We're going to repair the roof. I think it was just like a bunch of different things.
Like a whole bunch of different
it was
things.
Just
Yeah.
meant to happen at that moment, and it's so fucking sad.
Wow. Dude.
So fucking sad.
Yeah.
I think also at the same time, like, there's, I mean, and I know I don't know that area. I don't really know Miami. I'm going to be really, really honest. But I feel like sometimes people don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, like, if I'm in a building and it's, like, if I'm taking video and you can see the outside from inside our building, like, that to me is like a hazard. That's like a health and safety issue. You know what I'm saying? And this, once again, comes to what it brings to mind is like the detrimental housing issues that we have here in Florida. Like, to find quality, good, affordable housing, you know, and there's so many people that are from different countries, don't want to make a stink about it, don't want to say anything, or they just don't. They're like, oh, I'm just going to ignore it and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to like rock the boat. Like, there's so many factors. And I feel like housing is one of those things that should be like a human right. We all need to live somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it should be safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going to be the biggest place. It's got to be the nicest place with the most shit in it, but it should at least be safe for you to live there. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that I feel like everyone is entitled to. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what your status is. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that that tower was seen as being very affluent and a very nice place to live, and obviously it
These
wasn't.
people paid like $1,000 a month in HOA fees.
Holy that's why I'm never getting an HOA.
And that is to keep their building maintained.
Wow.
And they're dead now.
That's why it's
Wow.
greed. And that's why it's greed. And another thing, do you really think all of those high rises should be built on the sand out there in the fucking...
Well,
That's
we
a
live in
contributing
swamp,
factor
people.
too, because apparently whenever the tide was really high and there was storms, the garage in that building would get flooded and stuff. So I'm sure that was a contributing factor to the
Corrosion.
structure. The salt
water,
salt water. It's
Yeah, absolutely. But $1,000 in fucking HOAs and a building collapses?
and there's
That's why I'm saying
55
whoever's in
units
charge
that-
there-
55 times 1,000 a month.
Whoever's going to get sued...
And hello, and this is only going to jack up everybody's insurance, BTW. Because, I mean, hello, look where it was. You know you're going to have to put extra time, extra resources into maintaining it because of where it's at.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Come on, dude. Really?
I've always wanted to live on the beach. I will not live in a condo now.
Oh, man, don't do it.
Yeah, as if we needed to add to our crazy fears of shit. This is just one more fear that is like...
Yeah. No, that's
And this
fucking
is another
crazy.
example of capitalism. People, they're only caring about the money.
I'm telling you.
I mean, have you seen a lot of those things, those buildings out in downtown Biscayne? Like those really... I mean, you look at these high rises and you're like, this shit is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who the fuck is like, how many, I'm sorry.
Reset.
How can there be so many rich people living like that? Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of their buildings won't collapse, you think?
No, but not even.
Even Champlain Towers was supposed to be a nice, build like a nice place to live.
I think it comes down to greed, like you said.
Yeah.
And it comes down to people not taking the initiative.
Not giving a fuck about other people.
Yeah. I think that's all.
I don't know. But if I was parking in that parking lot and I saw cracks like that in a place I lived,
I would dip.
I would freaking raise hell or dip. I'd be out.
First of all, your parking garage is flooding every time it rains.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Yeah. No way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, I can't even park my car because I got to swim to my apartment. Like,
not only that, I don't know. I mean, even just having to take an elevator up like 40.
Oh, I hated
flights.
living in apartments. I'm glad I live in this.
Having a dog, having to take a dog, right?
Oh no, I cannot live in New York.
Having to take a dog out to pee. Fucking 40 having to go to the elevator every time.
That's why you get bougie and you get like a freaking like litter box for your dog, so you don't have to take. You know, you get that little grass thingy, you know, for the dog, so they can pee inside. And
I guess
on the balcony, put it out on the balcony.
Yeah, that's why people. These are the people that invent shit like that. Like, I don't want to go down 30 flights of stairs. I'm gonna invent this fake grass that my dog can poop on, so I don't have to walk it. Look,
I know.
I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. Oh, just one more reason why I would not be buying a condo anywhere.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
not $1,000 HOA, and then it fucking building collapses on you. Fuck,
that is awful. So now is the part of the show where we start our interview.
Yeah, and seeing how this is like not the format of the show typically.
It's been a format. It's just been, you know, with a little bit of spice.
Yeah. With a little limoncello.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Take another hit. So, Green-Baker, what have you been up to? I saw you have a nice, beautiful, professional kitchen now.
Yes, I do. Girl, it's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite place to be. It's like my Disney, like it is for you guys. Disney's your happy place. Well, my kitchen is my happy place. I love it. And yeah, I'm fortunate enough that I'm renting a kitchen that I approve of, because I saw a few kitchens and I was like, oh hell to the fucking no, I'm not doing that. So I'm a little particular, you know. I like to have good quality. I like to make sure that my customers feel safe and they know, you know, that things are being done in a place that really is thinking of them and thinking of their health and making sure that things are done in a proper way. So yeah, so I have a kitchen, which is amazing. I've been there since October, I think. Yeah, since October. Wow. So it's or October, November, somewhere around there. So that's been really cool. And that's really facilitated me like doing more events and stuff like that, because, you know, originally girl was doing it out of her house and it was like popping at the seams. Like I couldn't make.
Yeah, you can do higher volume now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So totally. I'm like able to like really bump up what I'm doing and how much I'm doing. And so it's been really amazing, and being able to like do events and, yeah, it's been really, really great, you know. So
have you been slowly like opening up the more products that you do?
You know, I have a problem. I keep saying that I'm only I'm gonna streamline. I can't tell you how many times my wife and my other partner, I keep telling them this every single time. I'm like, I don't want to do all this stuff anymore. I'm just going to do 3 things. And then, of course, I'm like, ooh, limoncello, lemon bars. Let's do this to my freaking Gemini, like, you know. So, like, I try to kind of stay pretty consistent with what I'm offering. But then I always have extra stuff that I want to try out or I want to do. And
it's fun to do that.
Yeah, it's fun to do that, but it's not fun to manage it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because then it's like, fuck, you know.
That's more ingredients, more things.
Exactly. So, you know, but I try to, from doing events and stuff like that, people love what I offer. And so that's the motivator. You know, it's like when I go to an event or a festival and people are like, oh shit, you have, you know, whatever, granola. That's so amazing. People don't have granola. Or I get that customer that's like, I'm gluten-free or I'm sugar-free and I can't ever find anything that works for me. And I'm like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I'm like, I feel at one with the universe. I'm like, okay, there's a reason why I'm doing this. So yeah, I haven't really expanded out, but I always have special stuff that I'm doing, seasonal things, like right now with the limoncello and the lemon bars. Like,
but I mean, I think it's also good for the customers. It keeps them on their toes too, and then they're always like, "Ooh, what's this new thing?"
I do. I love doing that though too.
Super fun.
I do. I have issues.
And if you're creative like you are, I mean, you kind of constantly have to redefine yourself, and you have to.
Yeah, I do. I don't like to be put in a box. Baby don't like to be in the corner. Okay, like I like offering things that are unexpected and things that excite me that I feel like would excite other people, you know. And you know, Geminis are known to be the trailblazers, the innovators of the zodiac. So you know, I definitely.
When's your birthday?
June 4th. Nice. June 4th. I turned 40,
happy
y'all.
Belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Yeah, dude.
My daughter's birthday is the day after you. She's a Gemini
Yes,
too.
she's amazing. She's an amazing child. I'm going to tell you that right now. I already know her. So, I don't even have to meet her.
Well, she's very bold. She's very bold.
I wish you could see Sunny's face right now. She was like in her head, thinking in her head, like, how do I word this?
I was gonna say rambunctious, but she's not. But she's bold. She's just very, you know.
And you have to foster that energy because that's who she is. Like, we don't really know how to control it. It's just what it is, you know. And we're innovators, and we go from one thing to another thing. Many things interest us. We are curious to no end, you know.
I'm an Aries. We get along with Gemini a lot. Like, I know because a lot of my friends are Gemini.
Yeah, Aries are cool. We're cool with Aries. The thing is like, we don't take it personal when that fiery side comes out. You know what I'm saying? Whereas some people would take it really personal, be like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Geminis are like, yeah, you're good now. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't.
Yeah, you're go with the flow.
Yeah, like, we're just so laid back about stuff. It's like, oh, you were mad like an hour ago? You feeling better? Cool. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're good. Like, we don't, like, hold on to shit, you know?
Yeah, so. I mean, I feel like Aries are like that, too. We just want to hash it out, figure it out, and move on. We don't want to fucking
keep going at it. Yeah. And so Geminis are totally that. We don't hold grudges. We, like, let shit go. People be like, I'm still mad about this. And I'm like, damn, you're still thinking about that?
Energy. You're still putting energy into
I'm like,
that?
dude, that was like 3 days ago. Let it go. Like, I'm so over that. They were like, you were so mad about it. I was like, yeah, in that moment. And then I'm over it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time for that, you know? So I love being a Gemini. I know we get the poo-poo platter of the zodiacs. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's not crazy. And I'm like, it's just because you didn't really know how to handle us. That's all. You just didn't. You couldn't. So, but it's fun. And that energy, like, translates into what I do. And, like, you know, my food and how I run the business.
I think, it's a package deal, too. I think when people see you at events and stuff, your energy is just so...
I love your energy.
Oh, my God. Yes.
It was fun because it was like I hadn't seen you guys in like forever, dude. And I was basically like a pup, like peeing my pants. Like, I can't wait to see my friends. I can't wait to see my
You
friends.
were so busy though. We didn't want to.
Holy crap! I know. I
know.
was.
Yeah, you were. But
and then by the time I finally
burning.
slowed down, like I ran over to go see you guys, and you were gone. I was like, oh my God.
We were like, man, we're tired of this shit. Let's go.
We're like, we're out this bitch. I was like, oh, they're gone. But I was so fucking busy. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Though. We had such a good time, and we'll definitely be going back in November. November 20th is going to be the new one, and it's in like a new location and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, it's going to be in a different place?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Charlotte County Fair. So it's like in Port Charlotte. It's going to be. Yeah, like they just sent the information for it. So yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking they're going to do more stuff over here down south.
Yo, first of all, y'all are close enough to Miami. Y'all can go to stuff. There's so much stuff happening in Miami.
What? How am I not?
We're going to 710.
Yeah.
That's in Miami.
That's in Miami.
I don't know. There's
what
other
else is
things.
happening?
Look, I already told y'all, I only come to Miami for very special people.
It's a Hialeah nonetheless.
Yeah, dude. Like, if somebody's like, can you come to this thing that's in Miami? I'm like, do I really
Far.
need to do
West
it?
Palm to here?
Yeah, dude.
Far.
Yeah. So it's like, when y'all were like, can you come? I was like, fuck yeah, for you guys, I'd for you guys, I'll come down there.
So
but
special.
Well, because
for like some other fuck shit, I'm like, hell no, I'm not going there.
We love you, but we've had very little time to actually hang out with you. Because we met at an event for the first time. That's probably the most time we've spent together.
I
was
know.
at the very first event we met at
that blunch.
Yeah, the blunch.
Yes,
Yeah.
in Tampa. That was amazing. The blunch with no lunch. Because that was hard.
Yeah. It was.
I didn't get shit.
We were starving. and then Sonny comes up like, I got a piece of chicken. And it was like Lord of the Rings up in that bitch.
I know. It was a little.
It's like Lord of the Flies. We're all like, she's got chicken.
Organized.
It was weird. And then everybody was like telling slam poetry and they were like, shh, listen. And you're just like, I know, I don't want to interrupt you, but I kind of also don't want to really listen to all this.
It was a lot of fun. And that's when I knew we were going to be friends forever.
We did have a great time.
We did have fun. We did have a good time.
You came up in conversation on our last episode because we were talking. The Mommy Jane came out the same way we did, where she kind of wasn't showing her face and was kind of using a name, and then somebody messed up and like said her name various times on a podcast.
Yeah.
And then she was forced to go. And then we were like kind of reminiscing about the conversation we had with you where you were just like, you know, if you're going to advocate for destigmatizing it and you're kind of hiding, like, yeah, it's just
showing your face.
Yeah, just showing your face and stuff. And then after that, we just started doing it because
I'm so proud of you guys, dude. I'm going to be like that big sister that's going to be like, do it. Be bad. You know you want to. But I believed in you guys, and I knew like the minute you opened up that window, like people would fall in love with you, just how I fell in love with you guys, you know? So I was like, you're depriving people of this amazing experience to know you guys and to spend time with you. And then from there it was like, and then I remember being in the event and we took pictures and I was like, is it okay if I post this?
Yeah, we're like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to really respect your choices. Like, is it okay if I post this?
But you're like, it's just a story. It disappears.
I know. I'm like, it'll be gone.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It was just like, also too, I feel like you could only do so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You could only go up to a certain, I don't know. It just wasn't going to go anywhere if we didn't, you know?
I think you could have twisted it into like a shtick, sort of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
where
but it sounds like too much work for little ROI.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to stay, you know, if you wanted to stay only the Batman and you didn't want to show the Bruce Wayne, you could have did it, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like...
But ultimately, people know Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah,
so.
We don't use our government names. We go by, you know.
Which is good. Yeah. I mean, fuck, how many artists go by their created personas? Like, you guys are artists, you know what I'm saying? And so it's totally okay to go with the persona or the character that you've built.
It feels nice though too, because I've always had this like I've always been like, I want to separate my personal side. I'm not the kind of person who's on all the time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that would be very stressful.
Yeah.
And as a celebrity, like for celebrities, I feel like that's like stressful. It's just having to be this person for people all the time.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of being able to kind of have a distinction between the two, you know. When I would do like comedy on stage, I always wanted to try different characters, but I was always so afraid to have to like be this one character all the time, you know?
But you dictate that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your audience doesn't dictate that. You decide. You set those boundaries. You decide what you share, what you don't share, how you share it, in what format, in what way. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you don't take ownership and control of it, that's when other people will take ownership and control of it and then decide who you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if you get in front of the narrative and you say, well, this is who I am, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, this is what I want to share, this is what I not want to share, then it gives you more control. Yeah. Versus people pigeonholing you and telling you, oh, this is who you are, because you haven't given them anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it fills that vacuum. Yeah. So I think you guys stepping out on faith and like like really doing it, I think it's amazing. I'm so like super stoked. I'm glad I was here in the beginning when it was just
us,
two masked podcasters.
You made me cry the first time I met you, and I was like, "What is this lady making me cry? What the hell?"
First of all, it was so fucking weird, like having people recognize me. That was like the weirdest shit. Because Diane, you know, she was the first. Like, are you the Canna-baker? And I'm like, who, me? I was like walking around like a random person. I was like, would you know me? You know, but that's when I realized like it is important to like have autonomy and decide who you are and what you want to represent and what you want to, how you want other people to see you. And honestly, because it's just me, it's no flipping of a switch. So it's really easy for me because it's genuinely who I am, you know? Now, yes, I am an introverted extrovert. I know that that's weird for people to acknowledge that because I like to talk and I'm very engaging, but I am also an introvert. So I know myself and I know when I need to kind of back up and just like relax and like have some me time, not talk to people, you know, and do my little introverty stuff. But because it's just me, it's easy. It's like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to share. This is what I want to be. And then when I need that time, I'm like, time out. Thanks. Got to dip out, but I'll see you guys again soon. You know, like, and so it's just, it's very easy. And it's not like a gimmick where I have to feel like I have to kind of keep something up, you know? So that would be difficult, you know, to be like, I'm this person all the time, you know? And it's like, no, not really, you know? So.
I feel like too, is just like people, I don't know what conversation I had the other day where it was like, imagine being a celebrity. Everybody thinks they know you when they really don't know you.
Of course, yeah.
So they feel like they're within their right to be like, hey, Angie, and then you're just kind of like, whoa. Huh?
Yeah.
You know, so it's always that weird thing of like.
That balance.
Yeah.
It's that balance. And I think it's about those boundaries. Like, you have to have boundaries. Like, everybody should have boundaries. Yeah. You know? So it's just about like, okay, what do I want to share and what I don't want to share? And, you know, and because I'm okay with sharing. And that's my personal choice. So other people would be like, well, this is what I share. And outside of that, I don't. And then the people that care for you and respect you will respect that boundary. You know what I'm saying? So even being a celebrity, like I was getting into this discussion about the whole Britney thing. And I'm like, the fact that a woman does not have a say over what she does or doesn't do, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's horrible. I couldn't imagine not being able to set my own boundaries, no matter what that looks like, you know? And so
she's
to me,
our age. With no control of her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Imagine like if you had no control of your life. You had a bad time because you had a breakdown because of the way your life is.
Your life was.
Paparazzi.
Yeah, because of the stress.
But
absolutely.
to lose your life for 13 years. And
First of all, I remember what I was like when I was in my 20s. And then you want to add on that paparazzi.
Having 2 kids.
Not having any support system. I would have gone freaking crazy. I almost did go crazy. And I didn't even have all those extra shit to deal with. Of course. You know, everyone has those moments. Everybody has that time where it's like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And hers just happened very publicly because it happens all the time.
Yeah, because everybody was there all the time, poor thing.
Yeah, you know, we just saw it all play out, you know.
Going back to Britney.
I know. We love you, Britney. Free the plant. Free Britney.
So you offer virtual cooking classes? What's up with that?
I love your Britney.
Oh my god!
Oh baby. Yeah. She does that nose.
That baby voice.
I know.
Just like Gwen Stefani does it too.
That nose, like she sings out of her nose. Okay, yes. What were you saying? See, Kat, she's trying to keep us on track here. She's trying to like, you know.
I try sometimes.
I like that. I like that about her.
It's a good balance because I mean, but see, like right now it's like 2 against 1 now because Sunny was just like, we'll just go off, like just off into the ether.
I know, that's why I had to keep reading the news story.
Yes. Okay. So virtual classes.
Yeah, you offer virtual cooking classes.
Yeah, I do. I offer virtual. I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to be a good influence. Yeah, I do. I offer virtual classes. I mean, and that really started because of COVID, you know, and it was like everybody's stuck at home and we're learning how to make sourdough bread and shit, you know, and whipped coffee. How many trends did we have during COVID?
People who don't have kids.
I wasn't making bread. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I didn't have time to do any of that
Dalgona coffee. I was like, what is this?
shit. Yeah, fuck no.
That's people that don't have kids or people that have like not adult kids, grown kids that are
older kids that are able to take care of themselves.
That are locked in their room while playing their Fortnite or reading.
Yeah, and so mom has time
Netflix.
to whip the fuck out of some milk to make her whipped coffee.
Yeah.
I don't even have
whipped
time to
coffee. Everybody, you're bringing up all the trends from 2020.
Yeah, dude. Like COVID, it should 2020 should be the year of all the trends. Like that's it. And I think that's why it felt like 2020 was like 15 years rolled into 1 year because it was just so much happening.
Nobody did anything in 2020, but that's all that we had.
Oh, I know.
Random trends.
Exactly.
Trends.
I'm like, what the fuck? We're making sourdough and fucking whipping coffee.
Yeah.
So what do you do in your cooking class?
It got desperate there for a second.
I know.
We got real desperate.
We got real bad for a while, dude.
Yeah.
It was collective madness.
And it wasn't even like that bad. Especially, Florida was not locked. People were doing whatever the fuck they wanted here in Florida.
We still do whatever we want.
It wasn't a legit lockdown.
And people were still
now even doing whatever we want. I mean,
now they're doing definitely whatever they want.
Yeah, no,
nothing's happened.
Now. Definitely now.
Pandemic what?
Yes.
People
like 2020 never even existed.
People out here trying to get COVID in their coochie.
We just skip over 20
and waxed.
We just go from 2019 to
2021. Yeah, we just totally blanked out. It's like that movie Memento. You go to sleep and you wake up and you totally don't know what happened. You're just looking at Polaroids going, oh, this is what it was.
Listen, the trauma scars that 2020 left will never heal. So you guys pretend to ignore that it happened.
No, it's going to be interesting.
If there's anything I've learned about myself, I tend to block traumatic things. So I'll probably just block out 2020.
She's like, I'm done with the whole year. Throw the whole year out. Look, it'll be interesting when,
That's not true because I had pot smoking moms.
Right. Well, I'm saying
you guys made
2020 was good for
2020 was not bad for any of us.
No, 2020 was not bad for me. I never said it was bad. I said it was a bit of a hot mess.
What happened to the world?
It was a super hot mess.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
2020 was a great year for me because it forced me to really pivot and really figure out. And I'm so glad that y'all came out of the closet before 2020 happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if anything, 2020 would have definitely made it happen.
It happened right before.
Exactly. So I feel like you guys were right on target with what you needed to do. And so to make the most of the 2020 dumpster fire, you know what I'm saying? So for me, 2020 was one of those years that really solidified my brand because it was the first year I was working for myself full time. So it really had to make it work. But it forced me to see things in a completely new way. And that's where the virtual classes came from. And because originally I wasn't thinking of doing that type of thing, but having that juxtaposition of everything's going on and everybody's online, it just forced me to really figure out oh, okay, maybe I can do classes. And I did more online events.
We loved your storybook.
I was just about to say that. I was like, first of all, people have been asking me to bring back adult Canna-babe story time. Your Joe Exotic is still the highlight of 2020 for me.
Oh my god! When I look at pictures, I actually the other day because he's getting his own line of cannabis.
Yes, I know. I heard that.
Oh my god! How come we haven't talked about that?
Yeah, because I don't know, because it's a little bit ridiculous. But I looked back at the pictures and I was like, wow, how did you even pull that off? It looks really good.
I was really impressed, dude. I was so impressed. Canna-babe's adult story time.
Is that saved in your posted on your IGTV?
No. You know what? At the time, I don't think I had IGTV. I don't think I had one.
I think it's somewhere.
I don't think I had an IGTV, but I wish I could capture that time back.
That's so funny.
Because the minute it came on,
it was pretty funny.
She was like, "What the fuck?"
It was amazing.
She was like, "Oh shit!"
So if anybody that doesn't know,
Angie was
explain, Angie, in case we have any listeners that don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, so in the beginning of the pandemic, it was March or something, end of February, beginning of March.
We were looking for things to do.
And Angie gave us something.
And I was like, "Oh my fucking god! I know all these incredible women cannabis brands, influencers, all of this." I said, what if I got them all together and we started reading stories, adult stories to each other? Because I thought that would be past the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I reached out to, you know, my gang of happy thieves, and you know, people were like,
greenies.
my greenies. And I was like, who wants to do like adult story time? And everybody was super down, which I was really surprised about, because I was like, oh, these are some fucking crazy ideas I have in my head. But everybody was super down for it. And so every other night, I think we got on live and read each other adult storybooks, which I still have those books because I bought a lot of them. I still read my son, Tony's Nuts, you know. He loves me to read it to him at night as a bedtime story. So I still read him about Tony's Nuts. And it was just so fun. And people have been asking me to bring it back, and because it was just so great. And I'm just like, I feel like it's lost the, you know, because it was in that bubble of time.
Right.
You
Where
know what I'm
everybody
saying?
was online.
Yeah, and Instagram was acting crazy, and they were putting
right.
like time limits on stuff, and it was just such a special time. And I feel like, gosh, I wish I could recapture that a little bit, you know, where it was just, we were just throwing things out there. Like, we didn't even really know what was going to stick or what wasn't. But I'm telling you, pinnacle Joe Exotic.
It was hilarious.
Sunny D. I mean, the minute I laughed the whole time. And mind you, I hadn't even seen the documentary at that point. So you inspired me to like, I need to watch it, because everyone was talking about it, and I'm like, nope, fuck that, I'm not watching it.
Did I?
You inspired me to watch it. Yeah,
it was a fucking freak show. It was insane.
we stayed up,
That
I
show
think,
was
the
crazy.
whole night watching that fucking the damn series, all because of her. Because I was so adamant about not watching it because everyone was watching it.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, nope, I don't want to see it. I don't care. I don't want to see it. I don't want to. Everybody was talking
You
about
wanna know the truth?
Tiger King trend. That was another one.
You don't wanna know
Tiger
the
King
truth?
trend.
That's the same reason why I watched it. Because she was going to do it.
Really?
And I was like, if she's going to do that character, I need to know the character.
Who the person is, and that's
So
what
I watched
happened.
the show and I binged it too.
Oh my god, it was.
How can you not binge it? It was a fucking wild ride.
can't
Oh
stop
my
watching
god!
it.
I think it
It's
was
like, yeah.
that feeling of the craziness that was happening in real life outside, and somehow connecting to the craziness of Joe Exotic.
I
don't
mean,
know.
it was the one thing that made us feel normal.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
that crazy shit show was
Yes.
like, well, I mean, at least we're not Joe Exotic
Exactly,
situation.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so you were influenced. I was influenced. I know it
To
definitely.
watch the trashy Joe Exotic.
it was amazing.
Shit, I should start dressing up as like really cool characters and cool shit so people could watch that instead of fucking.
No, and the thing of it is I was amazed. I was like, how in the fuck did she pull this off? Like, we're in lockdown. Like, did she just have like wigs and hats and shit like hanging out in her house?
I do.
She does.
It's so amazing.
I have the costumes and
It was so
Yeah.
cool. It was. I wish if we can find the video, I would totally
I
repost
think
it.
it has to be.
I gotta
We'll look,
find
we'll
it.
look.
I'll look because it
Yeah,
was
it
just
was
so
fun.
good.
And it was the last week of story, right? So
Yeah,
you were
the last
grand
one. You were
finale.
like the grand. If I had known, I would have promoted it as that.
the
Come
fireworks.
see Joe
the
Exotic.
season finale.
The
of,
season
of
finale.
Storybook time.
Yeah. It was the last
Story
one.
time.
It was the last one. It
That was
so
really
sad.
fun.
We had a good. I had a really great time
It
with
was
it.
a great idea. Thanks for coming up with that.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
was like, we just need something that feels normal and just to get our minds off of shit and
Have a
home
little
all day.
fun,
Yeah,
too.
we're home all day with our kids. It was like, dude, I want a story time, but I want an adult story. And who knew there were so many dirty fucking adult story time books?
Yeah.
I was like, Amazon was blowing me up. They were like, if you like this one about Tony's nuts, look at Brenda's beaver. I'm like, who the fuck knew there was all these freaking nasty adult storybooks?
Hey, bro, there's a niche for everything.
Yo, it opened up a whole world for me that I didn't even know existed. Because I was just like, who knew? And then people are like, well, what book should I read? And I gave them like a whole list. I was like, you can find them on Amazon, you know, like
Yeah.
Amazon was my friend right then. Because I was just like, it was nuts. It was really, but it was so much fun. And like I said, I just think it captured that energy of that moment. And it was just so special.
Yeah.
And even though people were like, you should totally bring it back, I'm like, I got like 55 other things going on.
Yeah.
Back then, I didn't have shit going on. It was like, dude, I can't wait to get to story time. You know, like it was just a lot of fun. It just really was. And so thank you guys for participating and being a part of it.
Anytime, any freaking time.
I was just in the chat.
Yeah, I know. We just had a great time, and I just love you guys are always down to like ride and do some crazy shit with me, so I love it.
For sure. We're always down to clown.
Yes, especially then, man. Everybody, we needed it. I mean, just collectively, we needed it. You know, it was just such a...
But we made it through, and we're here now, and we're finally together in person, because our first interview on the show with us was also right at the beginning of the pandemic. Right when it started was the first time we did virtual shows, and we did a Zoom show. You were our first one.
Innovator. Yeah, I know. That's it. And you were like, you want to do it? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Like, I swear, I feel like the beginning of the it wasn't the beginning because the pandemic had already been coming, but I feel like the beginning of the lockdowns and like all of that was like a time for innovation. It was a time for us to just do whatever. Like, we were just out here in uncharted territory, just doing shit, you know? And that's what made it so fun and made it so engaging and just, you know, just special, you know? And not to say that I agree with it and I think we should be on lockdown or anything, but I think it's something about being captured in that moment, and we can look back on, and our kids probably, or their kids probably won't understand.
No,
you know,
we won't get it.
The great pandemic of 2020, you know.
How did you survive?
Exactly. And we'll be like, we had adult cannabis.
We had internet friends in cannabis.
That's right. That's right. That's
yeah,
we made it through.
Weed.
Weed. Let's be real. Weed. Your kids will know that by then, though. So
do you have anything you want to plug or share with our people?
Events. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on. Please follow me on IG. I'm gonna have to probably make a backup IG because IG is shadow banning the fuck out of me. But follow me on IG, or you know, my website, thegreenbaker.com, and that's BKR, not BAKR. BKR. So no A and no E. Okay, green. BKR.com. That's my website. That's the best way to get in touch with me, just in case, you know, IG decides to kick me completely off their platform. So I have my website. I also have the Green Baker channel on YouTube now, which is amazing. I'm so happy. Shout out to Alex at Believe Media for being a great editor, and Sofla for being a great recorder, crew person. So I have my YouTube channel. Podcast is in the works still, so that's
coming back soon.
Just stay tuned. Doing it in my own time. But come out, see me at events. You know, I'm definitely doing a whole lot more events now than I ever thought I would be. But
is there somewhere you post fun. All the events you're at? Is it just on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's on my IG. Okay. Yeah, it's on my IG, so you guys can like follow wherever I'm gonna be at. You can come pick up goodies. Just come by, say hi, say what's up. Tell me you found me through Pot Smoking Moms, and I'll give you a little treat, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, of course. Take care, you guys.
You know, you got to know people.
You got to know the end. And the password is Joe Exotic.
Nah, he doesn't even deserve that honor. Not even he deserves that honor.
Okay. The password is Disneyland.
Disney World.
Oh, sorry, Disney World. Sorry, they're real serious. I know you guys do. I know you do.
Her more than me, but I'll go.
MJ more than I.
Yeah.
Shout out to MJ.
Yeah. I'm telling you. It's crazy out here in these streets. They was about to cut me, yo. You should have seen. Like, I think Jay was about to jump over the. It's Disneyland. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Come on, but you got to make the distinction between Disneyland and Disney World.
I mean, I've been to Disneyland and it's amazing.
But we got a lot more.
Disney World is what I go to the most.
Because it's here.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't even know. To me, it's all Disney, dude.
Oh, you don't know the difference?
Nah.
Disney World is here in Orlando, and it's way bigger. But the original Disney is Disneyland in California. Oh. And then they have only 2 parks there.
Oh.
They're right across from each other. There's Disneyland, and then there's Disney California Adventure.
Oh, well, shit. See, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Got a whole education. Now the Disney Worlds or Disneylands, I don't know which ones they are. I'm not trying to categorize them.
Nobody's coming after you. Maybe her.
But the ones that are like international, are they Disneylands or Disney Worlds?
They're Disney World 2s, but like Disney World Paris, Disney World.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So those are Disney
I think
Worlds.
they are called Disney Worlds.
Okay. I
Honestly,
just wanted to make sure.
I don't know for sure.
Okay. I just, just
wow. You don't know for sure?
I don't know for sure.
Wow.
I am willing to admit when I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I got a whole Disney education, people. Get it right. Don't be miscategorizing Disney, okay? Yeah, it's important. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I have going on. I have like my events. I have my virtual classes. I actually just started like my first class of interns, so they're going to be working with me at events, so you guys will see them if you come out to events, helping them develop their own businesses, because I think that's super important. It's not just about me surviving and making it, but it's about paying that forward. And so I'm working with a few people, helping them to develop their own cannabis brands and kind of get their foot in the door and learn the ropes.
Pay it forward. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, you got to, man. Like, this plant is all about love, so you got to do right by her.
Another the same story, like lesson that we got with the Mommy Jane. There's room for everybody.
That's it.
Come in to the industry.
And there's so many different things that you could do. All you got to do is put weed in it. That's it.
Figure out how you can incorporate weed into
I love that. Sounds like that Portlandia episode. It's like,
put a bird on it.
Oh, you can put a bird on it.
What was that? The SNL skit? Is it SNL? And you
can put your weed in it.
Yeah, you can put your weed in it. Yeah. Pretty much anything you can think of, we need in this industry. So just weed need in this industry. I just realized this. We need in this industry. So don't be afraid. Like, if you have a skill, a trade, a talent, whatever, it can be applied to cannabis. It's just putting a little thought into it and, really opening up your mind to what those possibilities are and connecting to a good community. Like, if you're listening to Pot Smoking Moms, then you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is staying within that community. So that's important.
For sure.
Yeah. Do it.
We also, so if you're listening, thank you so much for joining us. We will be going live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, even if we don't have our electricity. That's how dedicated we are.
Dedication.
If you were tuned in to our live for last episode, I was literally without power and joined by lantern light.
Yes. So
She wanted to set the mood for you guys.
It was spooky. I didn't have candlelight.
It was spooky.
So if you listen to the podcast when it airs on Wednesday and, there's something that you want to talk about, let us know in our Instagram live. We would love to talk about just recap and I don't know, even just kind of if there's something happening that day. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So for sure, catch us there. Also, if you sponsor the show, thanks so much. All you guys, Yanni, Destiny, Lauren, Jesse, Christy, April, Terry, Shelby, Denise, you guys rock. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys.
We
soon.
love you guys. Continue supporting the
best.
Pot Smoking Moms, man.
Yes, and
Through Patreon.
Yeah, through Patreon we do. We put extra stuff there, and,
or just make it rain on them when they're out at an event.
Hey man, we welcome that.
Dollar bills, yo.
We or weed,
or weed.
or weed.
We can put a weed in it.
We can just put weed on it. And that's it. But thank you guys so much. Thanks, Angie, for just being a friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a
And thank
friend.
you for coming all the way here.
Hell yeah.
To be with us tonight.
Like I said,
this has been so much fun.
I would not do it for anybody else but you guys, man. Well, I might do it. There might be a couple other people in line about that. But
just a couple.
I mean, just a couple. But
like you said, you don't fuck with many, but
Nope.
we're some of the fucks.
Y'all some of the fucks. Yes. These two fucks right here are my fucks. Don't fuck with my fucks, okay? They're my fucks.
A couple of the greatest fucks you'll ever meet.
I know they are. But I'm so happy to be on here. Thank you guys for having me, hosting me. It's just so amazing. The pandemic separated us and we tried to keep it together online, but to be able to do things face to face is awesome. So anytime I get to do that, I'm going to do it. So
we're so happy.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
Till next time.